Up next, the 8-man English band who found their name because they were all unemployed. The band called UB40.
The hits from coast to coast, American Top 40. Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. Now we're up to a debut song, and it's by an English band who are new to the American charts. When they formed back in 1978, all 8 members were unemployed. And that's how they got their name, from the British Social Services Unemployment Benefits Form. The Unemployment Benefits Form, popularly known as UB40. And UB40 they became. Their first American hit debuts at number 37 this week, and they're in the books. Here's UB40 with Red, Red Wine.
Shadoe Stevens on American Top 40. Next is the song that has risen like a phoenix from the ashes. That is, it's come back right out of Phoenix, Arizona to hit the Top 40 for a second time. The story behind this record's resurrection begins a few months ago with AT40 radio station KKFR, Power 92 in Phoenix. The program director, Jim Gilley, told us they have a weeknight show called Battle of the Hits, where 2 songs, old or new, face off. The listeners vote on the winner, and then the winner takes on a new challenger the next night. One night, they played a Top 40 hit from 1984, a record by the British reggae band UB40, and the record won. Night after night, it won. Soon, people were requesting this old hit, and the station began playing it on a regular basis. Next, the other radio stations around Phoenix started to play the record, too. And meanwhile, out on the coast, a promotion man from UB40's record label A&M heard about it, called Power 92 and said, "What are you doing there playing this old hit?" Jim Gilley told him, "You've got to re-release this thing," and that's exactly what A&M Records did. Soon, other radio stations across the USA were playing it again, in Miami, Dallas, Washington, and Tampa. And now the record, which originally hit number 34 back in March of 1984, returns to the Top 40 this week. Debuting at number 36, here's UB40 with Red, Red Wine.
American Top 40.
This is American Top 40, and Shadoe Stevens at number 4 is the recent number 1 by UB40. They recorded a song written and first recorded by Neil Diamond, Red, Red Wine, but they didn't know that when they recorded it 4 years ago. Singer Ali Campbell told us, "We were shocked to find out that Neil Diamond had done it. We knew it as a Tony Tribe reggae classic, a British reggae hit." Surprise, guys! At number 4, here's UB40.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm Casey Kasem. These are the week's biggest hits from 40 to number 1, and we're counting them down. Well, now we're up to the latest hit for a band that began with a fight in a bar, a trip to the hospital, and an insurance check. The group is the English reggae band called UB40, and they say they should actually be thankful that fight started, though at the time it seemed pretty terrible. The way their drummer Ali Campbell tells it is he was standing in a London pub with his friend Earl Falconer. They were unemployed, living on the dole, as they say in Britain, with neither money nor very much hope. They had dreams of starting a band, but not a cent to get that dream started. And then, Ali says, for no good reason, a fight started. He told us, quote, "This nut just started in on us. He smashed a glass against my face. I spent a month in the hospital and had 90 stitches to put me back together." Ali says that was terrible, but there was a silver lining to that dark cloud. England has a law called the Criminal Injuries Compensation Act. It's a law that works like insurance. It repays victims for what's been done to them. So after he got out of the hospital, Ali Campbell got a check to compensate him for his injuries. And with that money, he bought a drum kit and other instruments and started putting together the band that he'd always dreamed of. That was 13 years ago. And aside from avoiding crazy people in bars, Ali and his band UB40 haven't looked back since. This week, their 4th hit rises 4 notches to number 23 on Casey's Top 40. Here's the band that grew out of a fight in a bar, a trip to the hospital, and an insurance check. UB40 with Here I Am, Come and Take Me.
Casey's Top 40.
I'm David Perry for Casey Kasem on Casey's Top 40. Now we're up to the recent #1 for UB40, a reggae band led by a pair of brothers who grew up surrounded by music. Their dad was England's most popular folk singer, the man known as the British Bob Dylan. Those two brothers are Ali and Robin Campbell, and back in the 60s, their father, Ian Campbell, was a leader of the band called the Ian Campbell Folk Group. The group was a lot like the Kingston Trio in its sound, but their lyrics were very different. Where America had cutting-edge folk singers like Bob Dylan, England had Ian Campbell. And like Dylan, he was a master of the protest song, and he never missed an opportunity to appear at Ban the Bomb sit-ins and marches for racial equality. Ian Campbell wrote many songs about the wrongs that he saw in the world, but he was most famous in Britain not for one of his own songs, but for charting not once, not twice, but 3 times with his version of Bob Dylan's classic, The Times They Are A-Changin'. With that strong background in music, it's not surprising that Ian Campbell's sons, Ali and Robin, chose a career in music too. But they've become famous not for protest songs, but for their reggae cover versions of pop hits like Red, Red Wine, The Way You Do the Things You Do, and this remake of an Elvis Presley classic that's survey song #9 this week on Casey's Top 40. Here's UB40 with Can't Help Falling in Love.
We're counting down now to the song Higher Ground. It's by a group that was once banned from clubs in their native England because of a song they did about unemployment. Details coming up.
Casey's Coast to Coast. Casey's Top 40.
Well, now we're up to the song Higher Ground. It's by a group that was once banned from clubs in their native England because of a song they did about unemployment. Over the years, UB40 has become known as a good-time reggae band, famous for upbeat reggae remakes of smashes like The Way You Do the Things You Do and Can't Help Falling in Love. But the group also has a side that's deeply involved with social issues. They've created songs to show their compassion for black activists fighting apartheid in South Africa, and they've recorded songs to help feed starving people. In 1981, they put out a song called 1 in 10, which referred to the fact that at the time, 1 in 10 people in England was unemployed. In the song, UB40 sang that the government would rather pay people a weekly fee than try to rebuild industry and come up with a workable plan. At the time, the song got a lot of attention. It was discussed in the House of Commons. Newspapers wrote articles about it, and Margaret Thatcher's government condemned it, saying it missed many facts. The song stirred up so much controversy that UB40 found itself banned from some dates because owners were afraid violence would break out at their shows. These days, that controversy's a distant memory, but the band is still involved in social issues. Whenever they can, they support causes they believe in, mostly through playing benefits. And this week, they're playing right here on Casey's Top 40, playing the song that climbs 4 notches to number 19. Here's UB40 with Higher Ground.
Every hour, every day, I'm learning more.
America's Top Hits.
This week back in 1993, one of the top hits in the USA was Can't Help Falling in Love. It's by the most successful reggae act on the pop chart in the rock era, and they're not from Jamaica. Though several Jamaican reggae acts like Bob Marley and Jimmy Cliff have had chart success in America, it's this band from London that's dominated the reggae scene on the pop chart. They've hit with 6 top 40 reggae hits, including The Way You Do the Things You Do and Here I Am, Come and Take Me, both top 10 songs, and 2 number-1 reggae hits, Red Red Wine in 1988 and a number-1 that was one of the top hits in the USA this week back in 1993. Here's UB40 with Can't Help Falling in Love.
Wise men say
American Top 20.